Alright, we're doing the Orchot Chaim Larosh. Very, very interesting, or what? Because that's what we were saying. אל תאכל אכילה גסה עד שתמלא כרסך, כי הרבה חולאים באים על רוב האכילה. Don't eat אכילה גסה. What does it mean eating אכילה גסה? אכילה גסה means gas is brute. So basically, don't eat like a pig. אכילה גסה, according to halacha, is after I reach the point at which I'm not hungry, eating beyond that is אכילה גסה. Halachically, אכילה גסה עליו שמה אכילה. If I need to do a mitzvah of אכילה, for example, like אכילת מצה, if I'm already full, completely full, and now I'm ate the matzah, since I'm not hungry anymore, I'm just pushing the food in, I did not fulfill the mitzvah of achilat matzah. That's why when a person eats matzah or Pesach, should have his mind that he needs to eat the afikoman. Don't fill your stomach with the chicken soup or knei dalach and I don't know whatever else you bring that to the table, because you need to do the achilah, the eating the afikoman. Yes, to nechal ala sova. Nechal ala sova, but not nechal ala, up to here, kind of a Thanksgiving type of a thing when everybody sits down and open the belt. When you're coming to eat the matzah for Pesach, that's why we say lo ikva seuda. Sit down when you do a meal, because you're going to eat, you're going to full, you're going to eat the matzah, the first matzah. You're not going to eat hungry. You're going to be full. So therefore, that becomes a problem, of course, on Shabbat. As Pesach falls, but you see from here that achilah gasa lav shema achilah. Don't eat like that. A person, you ate, you feel content. That's why you eat a little slower until the body breaks the sugars, the brain gets the message, I'm full, that's it. But don't eat because the food is there. That's achilah gasa. One of the greatest sickness that you get is you become obese, become fat. So that's what the Rosh says. Arbe cholaim ba'im. Many sickness will come to that. He continues and says, Al tiyeh besov'ei yain u'vezolele basar pen tishkach et boracha v'techeta. Don't be those who consume a lot of wine. At the time they didn't have vodka, they had wine. Don't drink a lot of wine and eat a lot of meat, because that kind of attitude will make you forget your God, who created you. There's few things. First of all, it's completely inappropriate to eat like that. I tend not to eat in public places. Eating is good, as we said, but sometimes it could be maaseh be'emah. It's like, especially if the food is free. If it's a seudat mitzvah, take something to eat. But drinking a lot of wine, eating a lot of meat, causes a lot of people to really forget who they are, what they are. They start joking around, people getting drunk. Kalut rosh, you cannot have the awareness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu when your belly is full and your head is tipsy. I do not understand, I told you this a million times, I don't understand why people like to be tipsy. Why people would do drugs. What is the issue that people have? Be like this. We don't have a lot of times to be in clear mind. How long do we have to have a clear mind? When we are young, our head is full of air, and then when we get older, our head becomes mush. You hang around with people who have lo aleinu Alzheimer's, you see what happens. So we don't have a lot of time to be in clear mind. I'm going to spend it in alcohol fog. I don't want to do that. And it says, Chazal says in Parashat Ekev, Pen tochal v'savata v'shachachta et Hashem. When you eat and you're full and you're feeling good and comfortable, right? You're going to what they said, boatim, they kick Hashem out of their lives. Why? Akol beseder, everything is good. What do I need HaKadosh Baruch Hu for? I'm feeling good. It's good. Life is good. You don't believe me? Asshole, it was like stomach fillers over there, where. They're going to tell you, show me somebody who came back from that world. Who said you can't drive on Shabbat? The rabbis. All of a sudden they forgot everything. All of a sudden something happens. Oh, Rabbi, why is Hashem? What do you mean Hashem did it to you? Hashem did not do it to you. You threw Hashem out of your life. So why are you blaming Hashem now? When life is good, you forget Hashem. When everything is going your way, you forget Hashem. You only remember Him when things don't work your way. And it says, on the name of the Chafetz Chaim, that says, Ilu haiti ochel bechol yom basar. If I would have eaten meat every day, האם היה עולה בידי לעשות ולחבר משנה ברורה? You think I would have been able to write the Mishnah Berurah if I'll eat meat every day? No. You don't believe me? הנה בכבוד, דני. דוקטור, הנה בכבוד, read here. כך. In other words, the book says this. I'm not making it out. It's a very, very important statement. It's a very important statement. And we look at everything when we don't have it like, oh, we're missing on things, this is not good, we complain. This is actually, maybe if you don't have anything, and that's what the Gemara says. Lo matzah HaKadosh Baruch Hu liYisrael midah tova el ha'aniyut. The best quality HaKadosh Baruch Hu found for the Jews is being poor. Why? Because then they remember God. It's a blessing. Not to have a lot is a blessing. I told you this 1,000,000 times. In World War II, when the Nazis came, it didn't make a difference what you had. I told you the story about this woman with the crystals, remember? You remember the story? You don't remember the story? I remember the story. I remember everything I say. A friend of mine was, when they were a kid in Israel, right after the war. So was this lady, she was Hungarian Jew, so she had beautiful crystals like all over the house, beautiful crystals. So she used to give ice cream to the guys, and one time he went upstairs and accidentally, he hustled for the ice cream. At the time it was a big thing. And he knocked down and broke a crystal ornament, I don't know what it was, a vase, a cup, whatever, some crystal he broke. So he was petrified, and he ran out and went down to his parents. His mother heard the thing, and she's like, oh my goodness, I don't know what to do, give out. All right, they went upstairs to the lady, the mother holds the child, and says, listen, I'm sorry, I apologize, my son was reckless, I don't know how I'm going to be able to pay for it, this is expensive, we don't have the money, please forgive me, anything I can do. The woman says, no, it's okay, it's only a thing, it's okay. So the mother thought, okay, maybe, but still, it's okay. Let me explain to you something, she said. She says, I remember when we were in the ghetto, we had all our stuff in the ghetto. My father was a big wealthy man. He had factories, he was working. She says, I still remember until today, the Friday that we sat down to make Kiddush, and all of a sudden we hear banging on the door, bam, bam, banging. So my father went to the door, opened the door, came to him, his partner, the goy. He had a goy partner. He said, pick your stuff now, don't take even a suitcase, and get out of here because they're coming to liquidate the ghetto. Run! So she said, my mother looked all around, and she says, how are we going to do this? So she said, my father said, take coats, put another layer of clothes, let's take some of the money that we have, let's take the passports and run. She says, but the stuff, he said, it's our things. She said, we left treasures there, but we made it. She said, they made it, within a few hours later, they liquidated the ghetto, it was all gone. So she said, I collect stuff like this, but I realize it's only things. Because the most important things is at the end of your life. It's a thing, so it broke, so big deal. No big deal. Don't worry about it. and don't blink an eye even. Don't worry about it. It's perfectly fine. The guy told me, he says, since then, it's stuck in my head. It stings. My wife is the same thing. Something breaks. Okay, it's a thing. It's a thing. It is a thing. It's not worthwhile to call somebody, I don't know, names, to insult and to scare and so on and so forth. It's a things. So when we don't have it, maybe it's a blessing. But you just don't look at it like this. The fact that you don't have, it's great. When you ain't got nothing, you got nothing to lose. That's what Bob Dylan says. You know what Janis Joplin says? Freedom is just another word for all. Nothing left to lose. You're free. You're free. The more you have, the more you're anchored. The more you have, the more you think you did it. The more you think you did it, the faster you forget about HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that includes your food, that includes your clothing, any of your possessions. Don't forget that. That's why when a person, Bezrat Hashem, you guys get married, make sure you have a humble house. Make sure that you live in places according to what is Jewish important. Not what your society says it's important. Pick up your community when there is a Bet Yaakov in it. Pick up your community, there is a Yeshiva Ktana in it. Any Yeshiva Gdola. Whether you're going to send your kids there or not, it's a different case. It has to have a Bet Yaakov, has to have a Yeshiva, and a Yeshiva Gdola. Has to have Batei Knesset, and they have to have Talmidei Chachamim that live in the neighborhood. If most of the people that live in the neighborhood, Amei Haratzot, if not you, at least your children will be, and you will have to compete with the Amei Haratzot, you will adjust yourself to them. There's nothing you can do about it. That's the rule. If you live in a place of the Talmidei Chachamim, you will adjust yourself to them. That's the way it is. And all this so you remember who HaKadosh Baruch Hu is. So the more you have, the less you have. The less you have, the more you have. Have a great day.